Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. As you can see here on the screen, I have loaded up recent earthquakes that have happened, really within the last 24 hours. I want to focus on Japan and I want to focus on Venezuela, all right? Now, you had a 7.5 on the scale in Venezuela, and you had a 6.9 in Japan, okay? Both substantially, powerful earthquakes that done a lot of damage and, required the souls of many. So we're living in a time of great judgment, upon the earth. And if I just scroll, as you can see, there's earthquakes happening every day. All right, you got Russia here, you got New Zealand, not as powerful as, the one in Venezuela or Japan, but, an earthquake is an earthquake. It says here 1443, that's the spirit, that was in Russia. Now, again, we're living in a time of judgment from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. As you can see here, it says Venezuela earthquakes intensive, search for survivors as death toll rises to 188, which I heard that it's much more than that. It says Venezuela earthquakes live, at least 188 killed, 1,500 injured, and many buried. Okay? So this is the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Currently you have the World Cup, happening right now. All right, but you also have death and destruction, all right, happening at the same time, okay, which really overshadows, the mirth that they're trying to, push in this world, okay? So this is judgment from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And when it comes to earthquakes, this is, a sign of the times. And this is also an identifying mark that we're living, in the end. All right. Now let's get 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 1. And as it read, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth which he made. Okay? So Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is visiting the earth in these last days, via destruction. Okay? Via earthquakes in diverse places, via uproars of the people. Okay? This is the Lord beginning, to visit the earth which he made. These are identifying marks showing you that we're living in the end. Okay? Now it says here in verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, all right, and uproars of the people in the world, which we're seeing numerous earthquakes upon the earth. Okay? I just showed you on Google, you've had, within the last week, you've had a great number, of earthquakes, take place upon the earth, some of higher magnitude than others. But an earthquake is an earthquake, okay? It's a sign of the times, and it's prophetic, okay? Diverse earthquakes is prophetic. So again, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay, so another identifying mark of being in the end is uproars of the people. And we're witnessing that throughout the whole world, throughout the four corners of the earth. We're experiencing uproars of the people. We're experiencing unrest. Okay? We're experiencing people, not happy, with their lifestyle that they're living. All right, not happy with the powers that be and the oppression that's that they're suffering, upon the earth under these various different rulerships. Okay? Again, these are all signs of the times. These are all identifying marks that let us know what time we're in concerning the end of the world. Okay? And again, that's why when you go back to verse 1, it says, measure thou the time diligently. How do we measure the time? We measure the time by filtering events that are happening upon the earth through the Holy Scriptures. Okay? And that's why we tell you this is a living book. The Bible is a living book. This is a book of prophecy, man. Okay? You can't operate outside of this book. You can't. You just can't operate outside of this book, man, because the past, the present, and the future is written in this book. And we have, the eye salve, we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to be able to decode through the Spirit, and interpret, the right way. All right? Now it says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. All right? So the end is manifest in these last days, man. We're seeing the end right before our eyes manifest. All right? The Lord is bringing down our enemies. The Lord is taking out, Esau, Edom. All right? When we go to 2nd Esdras, let's go to it. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. All right, let's get straight to the point. What does it tell us? For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so that tells us what? During the time of the end of the world, who would be ruling? Esau. All right, the nation of Esau, Edom, beginning with their ruling elites. They are ruling the world right now. Again, this is an identifying mark showing you that we're living in the end times. And that just shows you how important it is to be able to identify nations upon the earth. Okay? Because if you don't know how to identify nations upon the earth, you don't know who's ruling, then you have no clue or idea what time you're living in. The fact that we know who Esau, Edom is, the fact that we know who we are as a nation of people, being the Israelites, we can then decipher the times. And we can say, okay, well, this is the time that we're living in. We're living in a time where Yahushua is about to crack them clouds and destroy the wicked. That's the time that we're living in. Okay? So, as you see it, more judgment from Yahweh Shem Yahushua is raining down, upon this wicked kingdom. All right? And you have a lot of Jake in Venezuela. All right? So that's judgment upon our people too. And there's going to be more judgment. All right? More judgment coming for you other nations and also for Jake. All right? So with that, Lord willing, this brief lesson was edifying. And until next time, I'll say shalom.